Thanks for that kickoff, and welcome everybody. My name is Bud Shaw. I'm a solution architect. As it says here on the slide, I've been doing, solutioning and systems for over 30 years. To the last 23 years of them have been almost exclusively with JD Edwards. I have had some other exposures into other ERP systems, such as a little bit with NetSuite and Oracle e-Business Suite, and then what rolled into Fusion, but primarily JD Edwards. There is my email up there, so any questions that come up either during or after that don't get answered or whatever you want, just go ahead and shoot me an email and follow up with, and I'll follow up with you. So what we're going to cover today is Genome. Genome is one of GSI's modules, if you will, maintained, developed, created by GSI. And what Genome is an application you can use along with us to analyze your JD Edwards and systems and your applications, your UBEs, your programs, to see where you've done modifications and help analyze where can those be changed into we call UDOs, user-defined objects, aka primarily orchestrations, also some user-defined objects like forms personalizations and form extensions. It's just one of the several, like you see here, half a dozen different applications that we at GSI have available for us and for you. As you can see here, Genesis is our performance optimizer, rapid reconciler, one of those modules that helps reconcile your inventory to general ledger transactions, and some other applications in here. But today we're going to talk about Genome. So we help you, replace your JDE customization with organization using this tool. And what it really does is help reduce, the ongoing maintenance and involved in keeping your current customizations as customizations, replacing them with user-defined objects, orchestrations, logic extensions, and then again, as I mentioned, for some of the forms, you're just using form personalizations, form extensions. So those become user-defined objects, which are then upgradable. They don't interfere as you go and try to stay code current or upgrade. So that really is an advantage to it. Every time you upgrade, have to retrofit your customizations, stuff like that. Well, with when you replace them with orchestrations, you don't have to worry about them anymore. They're easily upgradable and whatnot. But Genome, and just to be clear, Genome is a tool used to detect, analyze, and automate the analytical side of your JDE customizations and help you estimate what it'll take to retrofit them. It is not an automatic tool to convert your JDE customizations into orchestrations, but it does, as you will see, help you analyze, detect where your changes are, what customizations are out there, analyze, which ones can and cannot be converted over, thus automating the overall process. Actually, that's why the DNA, or the genetics of it comes in with the name Genome with JD Edwards. So as you take advantage of it and retrofit your customizations into orchestrations, you're future-proofing your JD Edwards, reducing, so you can stay, with current tools and applications releases, especially the big push to go to code current, to stay up to date with everything Oracle is putting out. I mean, JD Edwards is constantly evolving, and I think over the last couple of years, even more so in the past, release 22 had a lot of application enhancements. Release 23 some, but both release 22 and 23 have tons of tools and orchestrations and system architecture enhancements. allowing you to stay with JD Edwards, you know, and right now, you know, supported through what, 2033. So, you know, 10 years into the future, and it'll probably keep on rolling. So retrofitting your customizations and orchestrations is very cost effective and more efficiency in time, right? It's quicker and easier to, I believe, to do an orchestration than it is to generate and retrofit a JD Edwards application. And Oracle is going more and more away from the what we call the fat client dependency of JD Edwards, Windows client. You know, to a case in point, with the release 23, you can even, you know, apply and build a package and deploy an ESU using the web without any Windows client involvement. If you're interested in knowing more about that, check our website. I'm going to be doing a webinar showing you how that works coming up in just, I think, in just a couple of weeks. So, you know, but the tools, Orchestrator keeps on evolving. It's actually one of the challenges for us with Genome is there's rules built into Genome that says, okay, if I see this, you know, form or a change in the application, you know, then, you know, can I or can I not retrofit it with an orchestration? Because orchestration keeps on evolving, you know, keeping up the rules to say, okay, there's a new enhancement in Orchestrator and logic extensions that can handle this feature, this standard customization, and allow you to retrofit it. But you know, even where it's at today and where how it works is very, very useful and very, very helpful. So what you'll see, and I'm going to be getting into a live run of it, is you can have multiple objects. In this case, is showing you a P55 object compared to a regular the P4101, so P5540-101, in other words, item master, right? There are changes in the forms, data structures, form events. That's what all these things are telling you, and it'll analyze what you can or cannot transform, right? And give you an estimate of hours and then the complexity involved in it. You know, so and I'm going to show you live and help you understand the report and the analytics that come out of Genome when you run it and how it actually works. So there's a Genome summary, and then there's a Genome, if you will, dashboard, which kind of summarizes in different levels. So, you know, here's a report that came out of an application that was analyzed, level 2. So there's some JDE functional, JDE developer, Apache Groovy. So there's some Groovy code that you might want to plug into it to make changes. Orchestration effort, total hours of 8, you know, adding them all together, 5 hours for form events, 1 hour for grid changes, and then estimate hours for hyper items. Actually, I think that's a little bit off on the calculation. Should be 9 there, but that's the point of what happens when you run the Genome report. So I'm a big fan of live. So let's go and see this live and see it in action. I'm going to log into my Genome account. Oh, sorry about this. Security. Okay, so here is the home page for Genome, and starting with main navigation of what Genome is all about. Basically, what I was talking to you about, you know, helping you replace your EE1 customizations with the use of orchestrations, and allows you to go with vanilla JDE applications with orchestrations plugged into them. So then when you upgrade or get new, applications, there's no retrofitting into it. There is, as I mentioned, well, here's client setup where we add the different clients. You would be a client added into there. And then here is some of the vocabulary setup, which is saying, so these are the different rules that are in there and what can be done. Can it be migrated? Can it not be migrated? And then there's another table configuration that says, what those hours are, along with it. So analyzing, that's what the key to it. So even as you work with us and start analyzing what your customizations are, and we more and more come up with more ideas, or a new release is allowed a new feature in Orchestrator, and we can add to that rule and keep it up to date. So the first thing, so I'm going to just run, interactive applications have more pieces to them for Orchestrator than a UBE reports, just a little simpler. Whereas interactive applications have the form events and grid and some hyper items and form controls in it, and that's whereas a UBE has less functionality that has to be converted. So the first thing we'll do is we'll hang on a second, let me refresh this guy. So I'm going to pick, so my, pretend company is, Dunder Mifflin, right? And the first thing we're going to do is pick our vanilla application, our vanilla client. So this is Dunder Mifflin PS for pristine. And then the production environment that we got, that we have for them. And then we'll pull the vanilla application identified when by upload the file that's uploaded, the XML file that's uploaded into Genome. So P42230 is, the pristine sales order. I forget which one that one is. Sales order enhancement, and then we'll pull the from the production environment, the modified application. These can be set off to with this icon here to run a report on a scheduler and then have them jump out, because you might be analyzing quite a few programs at a time, but we can pull one. This is where we would upload files. So as you want to take a look at another new application, maybe it's the inventory item master or something like that, you can upload the file into the pristine, upload the file into the production, and do it. So this is where we can then run the report for it. So that's where Genome is taking a look at what it's found, the differences between pristine and production, use those rules, and given us a report to take a look at, right? So as I open that up, here is the report based on what had happened, what it found in here. So what you're seeing here is analytical and estimates based on the detail report. So we're saying here there are 84 form controls that can be that are available for possible orchestration. So they're pretty simple. So this is, and this is a 1 hour estimate to do that. 13 can be transformed. So those are just form and personalizations and things like that within it. And so we take a look at this, and that's the summary from the detail report that's included in here as well. So as I scroll down in here, we would look at form controls, and we can filter on that and see the changes in here. So this is a P42 online invoice inquiry. View the sales application form is changed. The status was changed from vanilla, and it can be migrated. That's where that one was pulled from. When I usually do this, I can do this color code. So these are form control, grid controls that can be, and that's where that summary comes from. The possible orchestration is the, and I'll show you when I color coded one here. Let's see this guy. So let me drag this over here for you. I color coded to help us help you understand what you're looking at from the perspective. So in the summary, all right, here is so the possible orchestrations are the ones that are highlighted in yellow from the detail report. So we look at the detail report. So these are all application forms. That's the 84, some of them. Discount summary, top application. So there's just positioning changes. And if you're familiar at all with, doing some of these form extensions, form personalizations, that's why it's only an hour. It's a pretty easy thing to do. And again, that's a UDO that gets converted, right? The ones that are the actual form controls, these ones in orange, go back to the summary, right? And those can be transformed. Those are the ones that are going to be more transformed using an orchestration. Estimate of hours is just the level of effort, and total hours in this, for this application, 27 hours in total for all the different changes. Form controls, there's no data structure changes, there's form events. I got one that can't be transformed, and we can find that one in the report as well. There are these guys. So I've got work within line, grid record is fetched, application form events that's been changed, and we can look back at the detail of the XML in here and find that statement, and then see what's going on with it. So it's giving you easy access and estimates on what's going on with them. Here is the actual detail that the event rules picked up. So this is there was a change to the address book number that came in and cannot be migrated before 9235, where we're at now with 92. I had to take a look at this one, but it's quite possible that that one could be transformed. So so that's the basic analytics and the detail of what this guy is doing. I see a couple questions out there. Let me take a look at it. Yeah, Kim asked that I show the genome summary that ran over a custom form. Initially, I thought that it would analyze custom native objects. That's what it does. It does the compare of the vanilla, against the custom object. If you don't have a vanilla, if it's a completely custom developed object, I don't know what it would do. We could take a look at that though. But there's nothing to compare to. So it's really just, looking at the comparison between your vanilla and customizations. We could help you. I mean, that would be one. I just take a look at it and know what's doing and figure it out, especially a completely custom, the number in the brackets, somebody asked. I'm not understanding what you mean by the number in the brackets. Kim, if you want to clarify that. So that's where we're at. Sorry, if you give me a little more information on what you're looking for there, Kim, I can understand what you mean by the number in the brackets. So and when I showed the vanilla compared to custom, well, this is all vanilla compared to custom. So if I close out the report, I go back to the report. So this is, that's just the sequence number. This, I think what you're saying, the 65 and 39, that's just a sequence number of the files that have been uploaded. So you can see if it's in the same, this was PS versus PD, in my genome, there's 65 objects that have been loaded in the pristine and 39 in there. If we look at all the files, you would see that number. That's all that one means for it. So that's kind of really the summary of what genome is about and the way it works. We can pull a UBE. But you'll see it's a lot easier to migrate those because they don't have all of the forms. So this is your R42800 versus a R42800 in production, right? Pristine versus production. So that's your sales ledger update. And then we can run the report or just get the differences. So here we're looking at this guy. So it's all in the events, we got 130 possible changes, 37 events can be transformed, 4 that cannot be. So we would look at the report and identify, those things that it's saying it cannot do. But here you can see is the comments, migration not needed is because the comments line. But some of these are just disabled. These are all disabled lines. Here's the actual issues, right? So this BC address number for the 4211, is migrations is impossible because BC could not be migrated before that V9235 release. So, that's just working on the current release levels that this Dunder Mifflin company was at. Obviously, if you are got a upgraded environment, 9271 is where we're at today. You would you can see a lot better success of migrating those objects forward. So. Okay, so let me see here. Kim, I think that hopefully that was right before. Right. No, okay. Yeah, that was all Kim. So basically, I mean, I said this was going to be I didn't say it was going to be, but not a really long along a webinar. I will say, we're happy to work with you guys, and get some sample, files, load them up and run them and see what see what happens, especially knowing what release you're on, where you're going, and work it and work it through. So we do that all quite often with customers. And get sample applications to see how it can help you analyze with it. So, I see one question from Julie. So all the rules it is checking are included. Yes, all the rules that it's checking are in the application. And our folks are the one I'm showing you, is getting updated as we speak by our orchestrator team. And as you are familiar with orchestrator and doing things like that, we can also, you can add your own rules in there along with us. We'll approve them before it gets into the template. But yeah, the rules are all included in the application. So, let's see more questions. Okay, so Andre Kritchoff asked the button upload file. We upload, specs in XML format. So that's exactly what it's doing. We use JDE Object Browser to pull your object, generated XML, and then bring that in. So let's see. So tools is used for estimation with the application. Yes, correct. You can use genome more than one time. You can make some changes. I don't know why. I mean, it's there to use over and over and over again. Work with us. We just get you access to it as you become our client, working with us on it, and take it forward. Okay then, and Andre asks, please explain what I showed in the tab event rules. I couldn't understand orchestrations could be applied. Okay, let me see here. We'll pull that up. So I think what you were talking about, this tab, event rules, this is where it's pulled the event rules and applied them to it. So these are all, as you can see, these are all comment lines, right? So migration's not needed. So there's a change in the application, but there's no migration needed because it's a comment. As we get down in here, in the load and retrieve vertex cache area, right? The change was, from vanilla MN address book number, the ship, I guess that's the ship to address number, to the MN supplier or shipment address number in the BC section. You can't it says it can't migrate that before that version. So, and again, there's another one, comment lines are not needed. So the real issue is with this one is in this particular area. Yeah, and I'm not a developer, so developer would understand this a little better than me. So that's the area, line 527 in the code, right, is where you would go to take a look at that, and then see what we can do with it. So, all right, a couple more questions. No, there's no, Julie, this is a web-based application, so it does not need to be required to be installed in JDE, but the JDE object browser is one you would install in your JDE environment on the Windows client to extract the specs and objects into XML. Let's see, do the estimates of effort vary with complexity? Absolutely. That's Kim's question. That's what it all is. All it is our developers, our orchestrator folks, take a look at it and say, okay, this an estimate of half an hour or an hour or whatever it might be to do those. And then Vevin asked, there was a forum event section in the genome report. In what scenario does genome determine these could be transformed? It's going to take a look at, what forum events it finds in there. And it's, it knows, where events can be handled in Orchestrator. So versus just the forms over, layouts and stuff like that. But those are forms events. They put rules in there that says these form events can be or cannot be transformed, and the level of effort to do that. The last one was anonymous attendee. How does Genome compare to Oracle's customization object analyzer? It doesn't, Oracle's customization, it just says these is where you're finding customizations. It's not giving you any of the estimates of effort, right? And and the level of effort. This is a level 3 estimate for some of the complexity. So some of these, at the simple, say the system analyst, the lowest level, easy to do, and then you get more complex, where you'd want an orchestrator, more professional, and then into Groovy, where it would consider you need to be a developer with Groovy depending on what you want to do. They've all done these estimates using Groovy, but Orchestrator supports JPython, JSON, JRuby out of the box as code plugins, but Groovy is the one that our Orchestrator folks do. So it's really in the level of effort and estimates, anonymous attendee, the level of effort and the estimate of time. I mean, these are just estimates, but at least it gives you an idea. So if you were going to tackle this as a customization change, that's you might decide which ones have more value for you to do. I think that's all I saw in questions. So I will then, I think at this point, I'll pass it back to you, Maddie. I got to stop sharing though.
Thank you, Bud. I really appreciate that. Perfect. Can you see my screen, Bud?
I can.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to do a little bit of some follow-up items, and then if we have any more questions, we will move on to a question and answer section. I know Bud answered most of them, but if anything comes up, still feel free to put those in the Q&A section. I am going to go over some educational resources that we have here at GSI. We provide weekly educational webcasts as well as monthly newsletters called the GSI Insider. Our YouTube channel offers videos and so much more, and we also record these webcasts and post them if you need them, such as conferences, events, regional user group meetings, as well as posted on YouTube. And we also have on-site and virtual workshops. If you do want to attend our database workshop and webcast that's coming up next week, it's on Wednesday, and you can go into our Get GSI website and you can apply for a spot or register for a spot by clicking on the resources tab and then JD Edwards or NetSuite, and then you can go there to register for any of our events. You can keep up to date on what's going on in our calendars. Also, I did want you guys to stay connected with GSI through our social media. All of our handles are going to be linked, and I'm actually going to send in the chat right now our YouTube channel where this webcast will be posted and other ones we've done, just in case you want to go see our educational content. I'm also going to share a screen to let you guys know that if you guys have watched the entire webcast, there is a quick survey that we posted in the Q&A for you guys to go ahead and answer. It takes 1 minute, and then you'll be put into a raffle for a $25 gift card. So that will be posted in the chat box very quickly, and I'll give you guys a minute or two to do that. So I'm going to go off camera to give you guys a second to do that. Once I get that link, I will send it to you guys. It's not working in the chat right now, so no one's crazy. It's just not coming up. So I will make sure to attach it before this webcast ends. But I did want to give time for any questions or concerns you guys had, or not really concerns, but any questions you guys had. I see that there might be one more. Yeah, the chat box does say disabled. I'm getting the link right now. We're fixing that on the backhand. So I will have it up very quickly. If it does not come up in the chat box, we will be doing a follow-up email, and it will be attached in the email, and you will still be put into the raffle to win the $25 Amazon gift card. So no worries, it will not go away. It just might come up in the email to follow up. With that being said, if you guys have any questions, please put them in the chat box now so Bud can go ahead and answer those. But also, if you have any questions during the follow-up, this is Bud's email. I know we showed it in the beginning, but just in case you want it now, you can go ahead and copy that. And I'm getting the link.
So, and I see a question from Julie Deaver. This is a tool used for our customers, GSI customers. So if you're working with us, there's no cost for the tool whatsoever. So if you want any follow up with that, shoot me an email. I can get you in touch with the right person, and they can help you come up with that one. I'm not a pricing guy, so. But generally, I do know if you're a customer of ours and you're working with us in any capacity, whether you're one of our app supports or going through an upgrade or something like that, it's a free tool. So that's where that one is.
Yeah. I'm looking at the question.
It looks
I
like-
did put it in the chat box
All right.
right now, the survey for you guys to take, and it will pop up at the end too. So if you don't do that right now, no worries. You have until like this afternoon, and then we'll pick a winner and send it on out. But yeah, just make sure you complete that survey to be in the drawing for the $25 Amazon gift card. And we want to thank everyone who did attend and asked your questions and was active during this webcast. We will notify the winner once we have chosen one. And if you have any follow-up questions, be sure to contact Bud. And thank you guys again for attending our presentation. Hope you guys all have a great day. And we hope to see you guys soon in our next GSI web.